What's up, YouTube? Today I'm sitting in a car with the most legroom I've ever sat in. Just kidding. We're still on the Project Accord. We're going to go ahead and head up north about an hour from here to go get, especially the door. The door is the important part. There's a exact same color, same year. Oh no, it's 2002, but the same door. It's got a credit card size dent in it, and we'll go ahead and get that so we can replace the door. We'll see what the interior is like and if it's worth salvaging, and see if we can't salvage up a couple other parts and pieces that we need to replace. I would like to replace the, I don't know what the switch goes to. We'll have to trace that out. But that piece right there has a couple holes cut in it, and I don't like it. So we're going to go ahead and replace that. See if we can't find bits and pieces that we're missing, like those little covers. Those are terrible. And it's about an hour north. So without further ado, time travel for you guys. Unfortunately, the door is no good. So we're gonna have to figure something else out for the door. But we got some stuff to finish her up, at least the interior. So let's drive back home. Well, I wouldn't label that a complete success. Unfortunately, the door is not salvageable. I don't know what the heck was up with that. But we did manage to get some parts. Like that piece there. The rear speakers, which is they're in great shape. The little two pieces, and it turns out the weather stripping for the trunk in that vehicle was perfect, which is awesome because if we come over here and pop the trunk, try that again. Oh, I opened the fuel filler cap. Anyways, so we popped that up. You can actually see that the weather stripping was the reason why we were getting water into the trunk. And this actually was a very easy thing to do. So I'm going to quickly walk you through how to replace the weather stripping on the trunk lid. Well, not on the trunk lid, but on the trunk itself. And then we're going to go ahead and get into steam cleaning. Well, actually, we're going to put all the things that I need to be stepping on the carpet. We're going to do those first. Clean up the parts and pieces we got from the salvage car or junkyard. And then we're going to steam clean the trunk. And let's see if we can't finish this up this episode. It means putting almost all the interior back in. Actually, this is the passenger seat. Driver's seat I have to bring to a place to get the upholstery repaired, just so it doesn't look like total crap. So let's just dive right into it, guys. All right, so this actually comes off very easily. All you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find a spot where you want to start and just start peeling it up. And once you get it off, just go ahead and sneak it right over the actual trunk lid itself. You don't have to take the trunk lid off to get it off. So go ahead and just peel it right off. And just like that, we've gotten rid of the old weather stripping. And just like taking it off, you're going to want to just go ahead, grab the replacement one, start it on one side, tuck it over, and there we go. weather stripping is on. Now, just find out how it's supposed to actually sit on the vehicle and slap it right in. Just like that, you have replaced the weather stripping. All right, now you can see that the weather stripping is all back in. I'll have to fix that right quick. All right, now that all the weather stripping is back in, something I'd like to just quickly point out is in this car, the carpet actually goes underneath the weather stripping. And a tool like this works really well. You get behind the actual weather stripping and in front of the carpet, and then you just kind of pry it. And it's kind of manhandling, but that's a good way of doing it. And then the same kind of thing happens through here. And now the weather stripping needs to be cleaned, but when it was going in, it needs to go behind the plastic here. Ooh, there we go, it got too close. It has to go behind the plastic. So by doing this, it helps just get the plastic or the rubber lip underneath it. So as far as the trunk goes, we still need to vacuum and then clean the new weather strip. And underneath here, we have to, there's actually screws that you can see. Let's see, where are they? Oh, most of them are missing, okay. But there's a screw that goes right here. You can see that one right there. And they actually take off the old speaker mount. So I'll quickly pull those, and you can see the difference between leaving the old ones in and just going to a scrap or a junkyard. I got everything I needed for this for 30 bucks. So with taxes and stuff like that, you're looking around 35-ish. And so right now, just to make sure the interior is complete, we're looking at 30 bucks, 35 bucks. That's awesome. That's, if you're looking to save money, there we go. If you're looking to save money, and if you're trying to, or if you're not just looking to save money, but you're trying to make some money off of the car itself, it's very important to get parts and pieces that are the least expensive. I mean, I got the new part that goes there, a lot of little things. I should have grabbed underneath the steering wheel over there because it did break, but I'll show you how to repair it. And once it's repaired, it'll be, no one will ever know it was ever broken, and it will actually hold on there just fine. So, oh, and we're going to throw the seats back in, or not the seats, this seat back in after we steam clean this area. And then we'll steam clean the back seats and this, or the rear seat at once. We'll steam clean the carpet-like things there, and we'll also steam clean the top, which really isn't that in bad shape, just needs a little bit of scrubbing. And we do need to figure out how we're going to repair this. Other than the fact that it's dangling right there, there's nothing wrong with it. So if we need to do a little bit of resin repair or JB weld or whatever we need to do, we'll make sure we get it done right. So without further ado, let's keep going. We're going to save this for last because it's not really necessary to keep digging at this very moment. I also would like to find the parts and pieces for the spare tire, as like if you need to replace it on the go. Unfortunately, the junk car didn't have it, but we are going to go to another U-Pull lot up north or out west, which unfortunately the door color is wrong, but I don't know at this point. We're going to have to paint the door jamb bits and pieces, well, whatever you want to call these, and that's the door jamb, but we're going to have to paint the whole door so it matches. It's kind of trying to avoid that, but it is what it is. As you can see, here are the old ones and here are the new ones, which they still need to be cleaned, but that's going to make a world of difference when you're trying to sell the car. I mean, would you want to buy that, or would you want to buy that? It's the little things that you got to make sure you take into account. And the car, when you are pulling this out, you got to make sure that you are doing it right. And you do have to take your strap off of the car to make so you can fit it through the piece. But make sure when you put it back on, you put it down to the torque specification, or as I like to say, gut and tight. Although this is not a German car, so we'll just say good and tight. All right, let's get it right back in there. We'll put the new pieces right in, and I gotta say, the speakers in this car are really nice. Not stock at all. What they were thinking. So we'll make sure we take a picture of them, and when we sell it, we make sure they know that they're getting some premium speakers. I don't know why I'm pointing at the tint. You can't see the dang things. All right. All right, now that we have a lot of this back together, what we're going to go ahead and do is vacuum the car one last time, and then we're going to go ahead and steam anything that is not plastic. I'm going to hold off on the liner because it's already going to get a lot of moisture in the vehicle as it is. I don't want to go ahead and introduce more humidity to the vehicle and cause the liner to sag. So first we're going to vacuum the back seats and then the carpet one more time, and then we're going to go ahead and steam clean pretty much from here down. And then once it's all steam clean, we're going to leave the doors open. It's not supposed to rain tonight. I always work on these cars when it's, whether you're cleaning the engine bay or cleaning the interior, I pull the battery, I disconnect the battery so that it doesn't cause any issues in case you get like chemicals or anything inside one of the connectors. So once it's all steam cleaned, I do have my big bag of the silicone to pull the moisture out of the air, and I think we'll go ahead and put this one seat in. Of course, the driver's seat, I still have to get it repaired, and I still am not going to clean this door because I don't know what the we might get lucky with the next interior or next door's interior to be better off, so I'm not going to split the time to scrub that quite yet. The rest of the car is really getting, I mean, night and day better. I can't believe how much better it is. So let's go ahead and start vacuuming this car out. Alright, it's at this point we're going to go ahead and start steam cleaning. Now the filler thing, it does say warning. This is the maximum fill line. Don't fill beyond that. I'm assuming it's bad. It'll probably blow up or something, kill us all. But this is the steam cleaner we are using. Fortunately, a subscriber is loaning it to us. It's very light and compact, so it's perfect for working inside of the vehicle. We'll see how well it actually does with this horrible mess. Make sure you use the funnel because it says if you don't, you'll damage the electronics. I will put a link down in the description below so that you can find this on Amazon. I think it's like 140 bucks or something along those lines. I did see that it has fantastic reviews, and one thing that I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna get it running. We're going to use a piece of microfiber cloth like that, and we're going to get it running and lock it into the run position, and then we're going to scrub the actual interior. So this will actually pick up the loose, whatever the steam is actually loosening up. And if you need a little extra oomph, I don't know if this one has a functionality for extra oomph. When you turn it on, we're going to go ahead and take you off the tripod for a second. When you turn it on, you have this little protection part right here that's on, off, and you'll have, I think the light turns off when it's ready to go. And I do have this smaller one for the really gross spots, like that right there. And we're gonna work our way from back here all the way to the front. And we're going to go from this side to this side That way I can just step outside the vehicle and finish it up. So let's just get right into it. This episode is probably getting pretty long at this point, because after that gets in there, we're going to put this back together and the seat at a later date, because I want it to air out and I don't want any type of moisture to be trapped in here. And I have a feeling if I start putting additional parts and pieces in here, that's exactly what it'll do. And that's when you start to promote mold and stuff like that. And then we're in worse shape than we already were. So let's go. All right, I would say we've had a very successful day today. We were able to steam clean the interior. We don't have the other stuff in there. As I said, I'd rather let this dry out before I start putting other interior bits in. I don't want to get mold. It won't be easy to clean. So anyways, this is a brand new clean one. And these were just to scrub areas after I had already scrubbed them with the steam cleaner, with the cloth on, the microfiber cloth on the actual nozzle. I use this for directly spraying it, and every so often if I really need a little bit more oomph, I would take this off and spray it directly. The only complaint I have with this particular one is it's possibly a little bit too small for an entire interior. By impossible, I mean, it is in fact too small for an entire interior clean in one go. I did have to wait for it to cool down, fill it back up, and start from scratch. One warning I do recommend: don't open this up. I do know that it's like a radiator. Don't open up the reservoir until it's clean, unless you don't like your face. Now, I was trying to hold this microfiber cloth onto the actual nozzle, but it was just, I was starting to get a little hot, and I was like, nah, that's not a good idea. So what I did was I actually zip tied the cloth on. So we're going to go ahead and cut the zip ties and see just how nasty. This is just where it was rubbing against the ground as I was cleaning it. Look at that. And that was after already scrubbing it a tiny bit with the carpet cleaner. I would say it's a good investment if you're going to be flipping cars, because not only does it get the grime out, but it's a good way of killing any bacteria, as it is. I mean, it's you're blowing steam into it. Now, as far as the interior goes, it's actually, I don't know how well it's picking up in the camera. It's not, according to my screen on the back, it shows it as really gross, but it's really, really not bad at all. It looks like maybe a 50,000 mile car, not a 130,000 mile car. And I'll take a picture with my phone. Maybe that'll be a little better, but it's definitely much better. It's still not perfect, but for how nasty it was beforehand, I think the camera's definitely throwing a little bit of shadow on stuff. Makes it look a lot more gross than it is. But I guess I'll have to see when it goes on the actual computer. Now, I gotta say, this interior is so much better. I'm so happy. Not that door. The door's still nasty. But the rest of it, I mean, we have a very nice and clean interior now. The carpet is, it's as good as it's gonna get. And I'll insert a photo here, see if I can, yeah, I don't think it's that bad. I think once we have the seats in, that we'll clean the carpets, put the new carpet or the carpet protectors in, and the mats. That's the word I'm looking for, the mats. Put the mats in, and we're going to be as good as golden. And the smell in the car is very, very, very improved. So much better. I'll hit it with one more Febreze. We'll let it air out, and I think after that we'll ozone it one more time and repair this, put it back on, finish putting the rest of the interior in, and then it's just a matter of focusing on cleaning up the engine bay and then putting a good coat of paint on it. This project's going very well. I'll be very happy with the end result. Oh, and tires. We need tires. Let me see if I can't find someone to redo the rims a little bit. Maybe they, for $200 or something like that, if I can't get these re-sprayed, or I know a guy that might be able to powder coat them. I don't know. What color, if I was to re-powder coat these rims, wheels, what should I paint them? Or powder coat them? Should I have them like black or go back to the silver? And on that, remember, if you like the content, please share the content. Let's grow this channel, and like and subscribe. Until the next time, have a good night.